Good morning, everyone. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. I hope you guys are having a super good Friday morning. TGIF. It's the summertime. Summer, summer, summer. All right. So today we're going to have to just jump right into a story about Jenelle that we talked about last night. Columbus County Sheriff's Office says that they are not going to pursue a case against Jenelle and her husband David related to the untimely demise of their dog, Nugget. Apparently, according to the sheriff's office, nothing happened. They didn't find anything. There wasn't a dog. There was absolutely nothing on the property. They couldn't even find any weapons, which is bizarre. It's almost like David and Jenelle were hiding things. I mean, come on. This is the guy that sleeps with his you-know-whats. And I'm not talking about his man parts. I'm talking about his weapons, okay? This is the guy that loves to show them online. So we know that he has them, and the fact that the police found nothing is insane. And then the fact that they found nothing, that just tells me that they probably had weeks to clean up. I mean, it happened April 29th, and the Columbus County Sheriff's Office didn't execute the warrant or the search on their property until May 13th. So initially, they said that they talked to Jenelle on the 1st of May. Jenelle told them at the time that the issue with the dog happened because the dog nipped at their daughter. After the dog nipped at their daughter, her husband got mad, took the dog outside. Y'all know what happened next, right? She uploads the thing on Instagram. Everyone goes nuts. David uploads his photo that's now been deleted, basically saying that he would do it all over again. He shared a photo of Ensley with a little red cheek, crying, blah, blah, blah. He also uploaded a video of like him laughing at her, taunting the dog, which is never anything that you should do if you have a dog, especially with a toddler. Children should never be left alone with dogs, period. Dogs are unpredictable, and toddlers can, kids can really piss dogs off. And when dogs are feeling anxious, they will snap. So let's not blame the Nuggets, okay? So then here's what happens. All these people online start like calling everyone animal rescue places, like groups that hate Jenelle, or, just advocates for animals, for children, start sharing the information for the sheriff's office to call and report this, and then for animal control. Columbus County gets a ton of calls, like thousands, they said, where it impacted their daily operations. They had to pull people out of different positions to answer calls. Calls were redundant. Everything was the same. They reach out to Jenelle, talk to her. She says that, yes, it happened, blah, blah, blah. But they go to the house to try to talk to David. They talk to David, but they still can't make contact with Jenelle to get confirmation of it based on the conversation they had on the phone. They try to call Jenelle. They leave her a message. She doesn't respond. And then they say they call her 3 or 4 times. They finally meet up with her on the 14th after the kids were removed and after they did the search of the property. And they talk with her then. And then she tells them, oh, just kidding. Nothing happened, you guys. I don't know what you're talking about. I think Nugget just maybe ran away. And let's just drop this. Let's not do anything. My husband's fine. The dog is just missing. And I just made this whole thing up for publicity. Yeah, that's what they say. I mean, that's what the sheriff's office statement says. So that's from the sheriff's office. This is the same county that also dropped the charges against her. Who knows who's being truthful or not. The whole thing just sounds like the sheriff's office couldn't find anything because the couple probably had a lot of time to clean things up because they didn't find anything. And it sounds like she's just covering for David again, to be honest. I mean, this is my opinion. I don't know if it's fact, but it just seems to fit her narrative in terms of her pattern of behavior when things go awry with her husband and when he lashes out and gets angry and his behavior is bad. She ends up covering for him. If you remember, she did this in October of 2018 when he and her got into an argument and she hurt her collarbone and she called the police for help. And within days, she uploads this weird video on Instagram where she says, just kidding, nothing happened, and she's hiding in a closet. Yeah, we believe you, Jenelle. Jenelle's mom has even been very outspoken that there is not a very healthy relationship going on here. And I think we all know that. I think when you're I think anyone that's been in a situation like this or in a relationship like this knows that when you're involved with someone that is like this, you will do whatever you can to pacify them, to make things go away, to cover for them. It's not a good place for her. It's not a good place for him. I mean, who cares about him? But and I don't think she's a saint by any means. She's also a magical liar. She lies about everything. I mean, she was lying before she was with David. So like, let's not get into this idea that Jenelle is somehow like the innocent victim here. So anyways, that all happens. And then of course, Jenelle gets super angry on Twitter, and she is like, says, this was not what happened. My story will be published soon. These police are crooked. So that was her thing. And of course, she ends up like selling her story to Hollywood Gossip, a clickbait website, which she shares on her Instagram and on her Twitter. I will encourage you guys all that if you do not want to support her, please do not click on the links that she shares. She gets paid every time that you click. Please do not click. If she posts an article, go to the website, read it yourself. Don't give her the revenue. This is helping her fuel her life on the land with her husband, okay? So I will just tell you what is in this article. There's a lot of crap in there that's really not even necessary. It's a whole like rundown of what happened. I'll just tell you her quotes, and then I'll put the link of this story I'm going to write a story up on this later, so I will get that out to you guys in a little bit. Okay, so here's what happens. She says that it was reported in April that Nugget was gone due to him getting aggressive with their daughter. Jenelle had, from the very beginning, maintained that she was very mad at David for what happened. She also, I think she said that she left him, or they separated for like a week, because, when something super bad happens, like your partner hurts your dog, you're like, peace out for a week. No, that's not really how it works in the real world, but whatever. So after the Columbus County Sheriff's Office like drops that thing, she gets super pissed off, and she's like, okay, I need to talk to someone. So she reaches out to the Hollywood Gossip website, and she says that this is what she said. This is a direct quote from their article. I never made a report against David in the first place. They called me and left me a voicemail asking me to call them back about the dog incident. And that's in quotes. When the Hollywood Gossip says, when we asked about today's police report and the allegations that she lied about the events on April 29th, Evans said this: I called back the chief of police because he wanted to speak with me on the beginning of May 2019. When I called him, before I can even speak, he said to me, Miss Eason, I need to know the truth about the situation. I have many media outlets calling me about it, and I want to tell you right now, if this is a publicity stunt, you need to tell me, because I have other cases, including other things like RAPE, that I have to deal with. And if you are doing it for publicity, then I understand, and we'll close the case and you can go about your business. When I responded, I told him, yes, what you heard about the dog is true. This isn't publicity stunt, and I'm not sure where my dog is or what happened to my dog, but you would have to call David and ask. I was inside my house with my kids, and David went outside with the dog. In the initial police report, she said that she heard the noises that would have led to the dog's demise. So the Hollywood Gossip asked them like exactly what happened, and she said this: I told them I hear gunshots all the time at the house, and my neighbor down the road even has a cannon. Today, told them I don't remember if I heard any or not. I never saw anything, and I was in the house with my kids the entire time. Ensley, Kaiser, and Marissa. Marissa even got on the stand in court with the CPS case and testified that the story about the dog did in fact happen. Not sure why the police would lie about the entire investigation. And then she goes on and talks about how, and this is where she is trying to draw a conspiracy here. So she says, Detective Jacobs got on stand during court also and tried to say my house was filthy and cluttered when he conducted his search. My lawyer proved Detective Jacobs wrong during his testimony by showing him my Ring camera of the night he was there, and it showed my house was spotless with no clutter. And then she said, these police ended their investigation a month ago, and told David's lawyer, Bill Gore, that they were closing the case. I honestly think they were doing this for their own publicity because they could have wrote up their press release weeks ago. I've never in my life dealt with a police department ever releasing a press statement about their investigations. I feel very attacked and exploited for no reason. The Columbus County Sheriff's Office is so crooked with their business that Detective Jacobs continued to call and harass me and David for weeks, had Bill Gore send a letter to leave us alone, and then had to call Detective Jacobs to tell him to stop calling both of us about the incident. She then said that they didn't find any evidence because she said, there wasn't anything against me any sort of way. I never broke the law to begin with. You would have to ask David what happened. I was outside. She said, no more details I want to share. I just want to move on with my life. This was an incident that never should have been public. And then she said he completed anger management classes. We did co-parenting classes together, and he stopped posting on social media for a while. He will use Snapchat here and there, but nothing too opinionated anymore. I think he really learned his lessons from his past mistakes. And then she said, we have the entire footage of the search when the police came from two different angles, one from David's phone and one from mine. If the police want to keep up with their lies, we can post the truth for more. So Jenelle's like full of it, you guys. Police release press releases all the time related to investigations. All the time. This isn't like the first time they release information related to investigations. I write on Pathios, and I write crime articles all the time. Do you know where like half the content I find about my stories comes from? From press releases from the sheriff's offices. It's either related to investigations, it's either related to arrests, charges, that kind of stuff. And in this case, I'm pretty sure the reason why they released this was because there has been such a social media like outcry to know what's going to happen to David that if they don't say anything, people are going to accuse them of being inept. And if they do say something and it's what happened yesterday, it's like this office is going to be damned if they do, damned if they don't. And they had to say something. And they had to probably wait until what happened with her case with the kids, which happened, if you remember, they got them last week. Last week was a holiday week, you guys. So yesterday was Thursday. It's July 11th. Of course, it's going to take them a while to get everything written up, to get everything out, because they just got the kids back on July 3rd. They have to close everything out. Like, of course, if Jenelle's just so full of it. She acts like she's always the victim. She's always the one that's the like victimized. The press releases go out all the time, you guys. Investigation information is updated by prosecutors and by investigators all the time. This is not like, oh, this never happens. If she's saying that, it's just she literally doesn't do this for a living. And luckily, this is the kind of stuff I do. In fact, 2 articles I wrote yesterday or the day before came from investigation press releases from sheriff's offices. So these are very common, Jenelle, in case you're watching, or David. So here's the deal. Jenelle says nothing happened. Jenelle says that Nugget is gone, but she lied. She said that she didn't tell them. She didn't know where the dog was, or that this didn't happen. But here's the thing. Like, she even admitted in her own words that she told them, I don't know where Nugget is. You'd have to talk to David. That was exactly what they said. That's exactly what the police said in their statement, that she told them they didn't know where Nugget was. So she's saying exactly what they said. So it's like, even when she's trying to lie, she can't even lie that well. And she's basically just saying, well, of course they didn't find anything. I didn't break the law. This was never about what she did. This was always about what he did. So she's doing a very good thing where she's like gaslighting, she's deflecting, she's making you stop thinking about what's happening and like making it more like I was the one that was victimized, I was the one that was bullied, I was the one that all of this crap happened to. Poor me. So I can't believe these guys got away with it. We know that Nugget's gone. We know what David did, and we know that she covered it up. And unfortunately, in domestic violence relationships and in relationships that are like this, sometimes people will cover for their spouses because they don't want people to go and get in trouble. So I'm still going to get that shirt out if you have ideas. So far, my favorite options for the Where's Nugget would be have you seen Nugget? And then a photo of him and the missing date since April 29th. Do you guys like that idea? Let me know in comments. Otherwise, if you have a better idea, let me know. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great day. I will be back for more if anything new comes up. And as always, visit me on Twitter at WOA Crystal Ball or on Facebook at facebook.com/without a crystal ball. And you can always check out my column on Pathios, which is always linked in my descriptions of these videos. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.